Hi there. I'm Catherine Sayo, and I'm the um, founder and CEO for Lipedema Simplified and the Lipedema Project. And here with my good friend and colleague, Siobhan Huggins. Hey,
Hello.
Siobhan.
Hello, I'm the research specialist with Lipedema Simplified. So I read a bunch of stuff and I do experiments and I report back. I'm actually doing one now, but I will report back maybe in 1 or 2 months.
I I had a meeting today. I have a um, support group with a couple of other women who I've known for over 20, 30 years. And I found myself talking about that where we are right now with lipedema is where I wish I could have started.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, we have more answers now, though we still don't have a cure. We still don't really know the etiology where lipedema comes from. And there's so many things we don't know, but there are so many things that we do know. And I think that that's an important thing to keep in mind. So, hello everybody and welcome from wherever you are. Marilee, where are you? In the Pacific Northwest, and you're here like so incredibly. Oh, and Jenny's from the UK, and whoever else is here, let us know. Um, Siobhan, it's like when I sorted out, it really is a remarkable journey that we've been on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would also say to your point, there is a lot of stuff that we don't know, but on the other side of that, there's a ton of research that's going on. And there's a lot of very intelligent and passionate people who want to figure out those answers, which, like, comparing 20, 30 years ago, like, there were always, people interested as long as it's existed, including the people who first published on it. They
Hmm.
published on it because they thought it was interesting, but there's so much more going on now to work towards not only figuring out what we don't know, but figuring out what questions we need to ask and investigate. Like, that is a huge thing.
Yeah, and one of the things, one of the things is that um, if you've been around and you've come to any of my lives, you know that I have been sick and I've been dealing with complex lymphatic issues. That's way more than just lipedema, though who the hell knows, because maybe it's not, but it seems to be much more complex. Um, but I still feel like we're learning more. The
Mm-hmm.
more that we are given the challenge, the more we seem to be rising to the challenge, the more that we seem to be asking the questions. And I think that's the most important thing that we can do.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss next Monday. What's happening next Monday, Siobhan?
Next Monday on the 9th, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live with Leslyn to talk about the chapter that I co wrote with Matt Carmody. So that chapter is all about the holistic approach, and really what it is it's kind of a beginner's overview of the holistic process in terms of lipedema specifically. So, what are some examples of things within the psychological domain, within the emotional domain, physical, social, spiritual, all those things? And what are things that you can do about them as a physician? What are treatments that can be tried, referrals that can be made? So it's really just this basic, very quick lead through of this process to start getting them into the mindset of how to do this. And then with further practice and with other resources that we will be coming out with, hopefully soon, towards the end of the year, um, then it'll really get them started on that process. Because as we've been talking about for years, and Catherine has been talking about even longer than that, the holistic approach is, I would say, necessary for lipedema, at least very helpful. So, acknowledging the psychological impact that lipedema can have on people, acknowledging how it can impact their social life and the damage that that can cause, um, and how they can all play into each other. So if you're socially withdrawn, that may impact how well you're able to take care of yourself, because that in itself can be a trigger for worsening depression and things like that. So I think it's a super interesting chapter. I'm also very biased, but I will be very excited to talk about that with Leslyn on the 9th. I don't have my calendar up to know what time it is, but I will look that up right now. Should be in my calendar. Okay.
I'm gonna post what Sandra wrote because I think it's really important and I think it's true. Medical doctors just now learning it's real. Lipedema is a real condition because of all the work that we've done. And thank you. The you is a we. There's a team of us, and it really takes a village. We do need more answers, but we also need more diagnosed and approved to get treatment.
Mm-hmm.
We need the medical code and insurance companies to accept the need for treatment tests, preventative measures. Yep, indeed. I want to say that as a lot of what our book can help to put in place. So the book, which I'm about to go to, give me 1 second. I
Yeah.
want to show it to you.
And while you're doing that, the Facebook Live with Leslyn is at 3:30 Eastern Time on Monday the 9th. So mark it in your calendars if you would like to come and hang out.
Yeah, come hang out. Come hang out. Okay, I am going to share my screen and I will show you. I think it's important for you to know, as one of the folks who deals with lipedema. This is our Congress. It's coming up the end of September. It's coming up the end of September because the book is coming out in early October. The book is coming out in early October because there are several main conferences, pretty significant conferences happening all around the world. There's one in Turkey, there's one in France, there's one in Rome, in Italy. There's a couple other ones. Dr. Roxon, who is one of the co editors, along with Leslyn and myself, will be presenting and highlighting the book. Let me show you the book. There it is. Lipedema, Principles and Practice of Diagnosis and Treatment. And I think possibly one of the most important things is this table of contents. There are 20 chapters. There are 28 authors, worldwide experts in lipedema and the lymphatic system. And Siobhan's chapter is here, chapter 15, A Holistic Approach to Diagnosis, Care, and Treatment by Dr. Carmody and Siobhan. But there are many other topics that are relevant to what we're talking about. I mean, if I had this when I started many years ago, it would have made everything easier. Even so much as here, the very first chapter is a definition. That lipedema is an entity. You have to start out from that as the premise. And I think the other really important part when you're setting it up and beginning to understand it is what are the challenges in dealing with your primary care physician? The challenges for the physician, but as a patient, what is it that you need to know? And how do you approach someone who doesn't have the training, who doesn't have any experience as to what it is? I mean, we know they don't. And so, in terms of the book, the genetics, differential diagnosis, imaging, I'm going through this really fast, conservative treatment methodologies, surgical options, self care, and then a look to the future and resources. So, I wish we could have put everything that we knew under the sun. We had to pick and choose and put it together like a jigsaw puzzle where everything fits for a reason. Anyway, pretty cool. Okay. Um,
Yes, and Maria asked, where can we get the book? So the book is not out yet, but you can pre-order it on Amazon. So I can grab the link for that real quick.
okay, that's great. You're getting the link. It's
I'm
you
grabbing the
can
link.
pre-order the book, and if you can, I would suggest it because it's turning out that we're coming up with images that are going to maybe raise the cost of the book. So get it now.
Yeah, pre-order now because it'll lock in that price for you.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Doctor's office. I'll get back to them. um, so, um, I want to say one more thing, and I'm going to put the link in the chat because it's Lipedema Awareness Month. Um, and I'm going to put this in the chat. We wanted to do whatever we could to support everybody. So the cost of the conference is $597. We dropped it to $57. You're never going to get a deal like that.
Yeah.
Like they said, you're insane. I said, yeah, we know it.
Not news to us.
That's not news to us. We're trying to make it so easy for people because you need to know this information. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and it's not easy for everybody to read through this first book as a patient and understand all of the information that's in there, especially on a first pass. So, what this event is going to do is it's going to help people read the book. It's not going to be us sitting there reading through the chapters one by one. It'll be supplementary information, but that additional information and then the connection with everybody who comes to the event and the connection with the authors helps kind of retain more of that information, understand it, and process it, which is really what we do at every event, is helping people process information that they need.
Yeah. This is Kellen's. She says, I went to my primary care doc today to talk about the possibility that I may have lipedema. He didn't know anything about it and was Googling it while I was there. That's often the case.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I've heard this story over and over and over again, Kellen. First of all, yay for you that you're willing to do that. And also, yay for your doctor that he or she is at least open to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I 1 second. Okay, we already did that one. I think that's it for today.
I think so. Today might be a short day, but yes. And another thing is, this is another case where the book will come in handy because at that point you can just hand them a copy or say, pick up a copy of this book. Has everything you need to know for the moment in there.
Yeah. And it's a weekend.
It
So
is.
wherever you are, enjoy it. I'm going to be on the deck. I'm going to the deck now, and I might be on the deck all weekend.
Wouldn't blame you. It's been very rainy here, so I will probably be staying inside and spinning and knitting. That is
Well,
probably
that
my plan.
sounds good. And I hope that earlier today, I was like flat out. And I fell asleep in the sun, though. I got to watch it.
Yeah, be careful about not getting any burns.
Yeah, I don't want to get burnt. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Siobhan.
Yep. See you next week, everybody, and
Yeah,
see you today.
yeah, we'll be. I'll talk